Well, a very good evening and welcome to this edition of Breeding to Win. We're here at the Cape Town Convention Centre. It is the 38th Asian Racing Conference and a whole host of delegates here joining South Africa for a very interesting seminar, and so far it's been very well received. So to the opening ceremony, it was a fantastic event and we look forward to a couple of days still remaining. But let's go into the show. We're going to start off with a sale that's just around the corner as well, and that's Mystico. And we've got two of our sponsors that are bringing you information about their drafts. Let's start off firstly with David Brown and his Himmel and Ardor draft. He's always got some wonderful horses. He's got a nice strike rate with winners at the moment, and Fee catches up with David out at Hermanus.
Himmel and Ardor Stud will have 20 yearlings on offer at the upcoming Cape Yearling Sale taking place on Friday the 28th of February 2020 at Mystico. David feels over the years this has been one of the best value for money sales, and this year, to give the buyer another incentive apart from the 60,000 Rand BSA bonus for juvenile races, a Cape Yearling Sale race with a minimum stake of 550,000 will take place on Cape Derby Day in February 2021. Being represented by 8 different sires makes it a draft worth coming to view, as there should be something of interest for everyone. Alado, a well-bred son of Danzig from a top female line, always a value buy. Captain of all, leading 2-year-old sire at present this season and previous freshman sire. Elusive Fort, always represented in the feature races, his progeny have won from 800 metres to 2,400 metres plus. Fencing Master, Group 1 Dewhurst Stakes runner-up, has got off to a good start, producing a win and 2 places from his first 2 South African bred runners. Jackson amongst the winners week in and week out and winning this weekend's Grade 3 Prix de Cap at Kenilworth. JPEG, still the highest stakes earner, bred in South Africa and always amongst the winners, a real value for money sire. Pathfork gets them to run from 800 metres to 2,400 metres. He sired this year's Alan Robertson Fillies Grade 1 winner. What a Winter, champion sprinter who produced 2 Grade 1 winners on Sunmet Day last month. Overall, David's draft is definitely worth viewing, and he believes it is a sale one shouldn't miss. He is looking forward to seeing you in rows B and C at Mystico, and hopefully he can help you find a champion that will fulfill your dream. Remember, without the horse, no ticket, no dream.
Well, next up we've got a couple of horses that are going to be consigned and have got interest with David Allen. Obviously David Allen, a regular contributor to Turf Talk. He's been an investor in the South African horse racing industry for some time, and he'll be selling a couple of individuals out at Mystico as well. And Fee tells us more.
We're here at Kenilworth Racecourse. It is a little bit noisy because we're getting ready for Derby Day and the Prawn Festival. It looks like there's going to be a bumper crowd here this afternoon, but I'm very lucky to have David Allen with me this morning. He's going to be chatting to us about his draft directly and indirectly going to Mystico because he's involved with 40 yearlings. David, morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good, thank you. Welcome back to Cape Town.
Thank you.
Now, you're directly and indirectly involved with 40 yearlings going on this sale. That's quite a big draft.
Well, yes, it's directly and indirectly. That includes yearlings that we've bred ourselves, yearlings that I manage hands-on, and the products of farms for which I consult or promote their products. And then, of course, there's a long list of stallions that we're associated with. So, yep, it's about 40 total.
Yeah, and it's come at a good time, the sale, actually, just after this meeting, and we've had the Asian Racing Conference here, so nice to follow on with the equine things going on and having the sale on the 28th.
Yes, the conference situation and the dates, it could have been a bit closer, but then again it would have meant moving it further from the mid-March slot, which is where this sale in one guise or another has been for a long time, and in my humble opinion, very successfully or potentially very successfully. The Equimark Vintage used used to be in that mid-March slot under canvas at Durbanville, and it was a very, very good sale. And actually quite a lot of people from overseas would come for that sale too, because March is still fine, and come and see and buy a horse for not too much money. The vintage got blown away really by the first Cape Premier yearling sale, and that was the end of that story. But even when CTS started a book 2, I was trying to be very positive about that, because as an alternative, not quite so early for the production of the yearlings, just a very, very good slot. And frankly, I'm frustrated because people tend to talk it down rather than up, and that's really not good. I think it's potentially, in this Mystico sale coming up, it's potentially a really nice sale.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, held out at Mystico. Catalogue doesn't look too bad. Got some nice horses on the catalogue with some nice pedigrees.
Absolutely right. Nice pedigrees, but also nice individuals in there, in amongst them. It's a sale where you have to do some work. The sale companies are not saying, oh, we've selected this to the nth degree. They're just saying, here they are. And that's fine, because those are the sales where you can find nuggets of gold, which are not going to cost you a large amount of money.
And of course, you're represented by your stallions, Elusive Fort and Alado, at the sale as well.
Yeah. The Elusive Fort situation, it's a bit baffling, I have to say, because there he is sitting in the top dozen still. Okay, he hasn't had a Grade 1 winner in the last 12 months. Sorry about that, guys, but, it's difficult to work out what people want. I suppose he just, on the face of it, doesn't produce them bang early enough. But his statistics are very good. The myth about the colts not being as good as the fillies is a myth. The stats are almost identical. Yes, it's true the Grade 1 winners have been fillies. But somebody said to me the other day, when I was touring farms in the Robertson area, they said, David, if I was breeding to race, I'd send everything to Elusive Fort. Now, maybe they were just being nice to me, but the point they were making was that it's a shame, whether it's sale, recent sale, future sales, that we've got this narrow view of what's a sexy stallion. Anyway. I'm all in favour of Elusive Fort.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? And Wayne, one of our team members from Breeding to Win, has been lucky enough to go out and get quite a good few photos of your draft. We're not going to talk about all 40 of them,
no.
But if we were to select a few just to chat about.
Yes, if we kick off with Elusive Fort, we've just mentioned there. One of the farms with which I'm associated is Aaron Stud, which is run by Fran Cow, Walter Cow's other half, but running her own farm independently in partnership. And lot 34 there is a really strong Elusive Fort colt, and with a big back family. The update on that lot 34 is that his 2-year-old half-sister won 10 days ago on debut, and I'd certainly recommend a good look at that. And the other one that we can show pictures of in that draft right now is a very, very lithe and athletic Captain of All filly. Captain of All, we can all see how well he's doing, and let's hope that he follows his dad. He's certainly going in that direction. And she's out of a young mare whose first foal is a juvenile winner. Those are the two from Aaron Stud, and the other half of that marriage, Walter Cow runs Black Swan Stud for Peter de Beyer. And obviously that's pretty Elusive Fort heavy for obvious reasons. And there are 4 of those from Black Swan Stud, and they're all there to be seen in the catalogue. Lot 153 is one of the really nice colts, and again I'm highlighting the colts because a lot of people say, oh, Elusive Fort colts, I'd rather have a filly. No, go and have a look at these. There's 3 colts in the filly. All those colts that Walter is sending there for Peter are very, very nice indeed, and 153 is half to a Grade 3 placed 5 times winner. Not so bad. That's incidentally the Winter Solstice family as well.
Yeah, lovely.
So those were the sort of Elusive Fort focus. The Alado as well. How long have you got? He's been a labour of love and of some success for quite a long time. In terms of his little place in the South African bloodstock industry, he's pumped an awful lot of money into it. And some has come back out because his percentages over the years on and off have been spectacular. He is one of the best bred stallions in the world. Any pedigree guru would agree, but we are where we are. And where we are now especially with regard to two of these coming up at Mystico, is that they are full siblings to two that sold at Mystico 12 months ago. And they made 90 and 100,000 respectively, which is very acceptable, very nice, no problem at this sort of sale, and for that sort of stallion, absolutely delighted. They're both out of Dynasty mares, those two, and they're with trainers who are, well, I would say this, wouldn't I, but they're raving about them. They're not obviously not going to be bang early 2-year-olds, but they're very, very hopeful. One is with Greg Enyon for Marsh Shirtcliffe, and the other one is with Michael Roberts, and what I hear from them is joy to my ears. Aside from those two, which to that extent sell themselves, Lot 76 is an interesting one. David Hepburn Brown at Chemelanada Stud, where all of this is based, has always thought very highly of this particular mare, and you think he's right, because the mare has bred 3 winners and won by Meteor Shower, which is quite an achievement. And this particular yearling, not absolutely typical Alado, but I think a very well-developed sort and well worth having a look at. That's Lot 76 out of Kensington Park. Another one to highlight is, I think it's 114 out of Our Princess. That makes him a full brother to 3 multiple Alado winners, 2 of which have got black type. One is not shown as black type in the catalogue, but it is black type. So, you know, that's really quite something, and well worth pulling out to have a look when you're pulling out all 5 to see. And finally, on the Alado front, just to highlight a filly that I think she's very nice. I know the family especially well. She's the 3-part sister to a decent winner here, Grandiflora, and very much well worth looking at, because not only for herself, but if there's a breeding end to all of this, what could be better than an Alado filly to breed from, with that enormous family with nearly 30 Group 1 winners in the first 3 dams? It's extraordinary. Yeah,
certainly sounds like some yearlings worth going and having a look at, some exciting pedigrees.
I hope so. I think it's the sort of sale where people need to look at everything.
Yeah, and from what we've seen of the pictures as well, some nice looking individuals as well.
Definitely, and that's what this sale is all about. I was fortunate enough to buy and buy in one case, but buy independently the 2 Elusive Fort Grade 1 winning fillies. I mean, their fillies, their pedigrees were not that strong. Obviously, they made them themselves, but this is the kind of sale where you find that kind of opportunity.
Absolutely. And will they be moving in sort of around Tuesday, I suppose, before the sale?
Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday. So get yourself to Mystico and have a look.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tramping around, and I hope there's lots of people who do it. I know that probably there'll be a bit of a rush at the last minute, but if people can give a bit more time to getting around all of these, the breeders have done just as much work on these as they have on horses that are going to make a lot more money. And the opportunities, I haven't actually done the stats and I haven't seen the stats, but I think the stats from this sale would be pretty good. And certainly I've been associated with selling 8, 10, 12 winners from this sale in just the last couple of events. So I think it's a good chance for people to go and buy.
That's right, and it gives the buyer the opportunity that maybe they missed out at the first Premier Book 1 Premier Yearling sale. They've got another bite at the cherry.
Yes, they have, and unfortunately or fortunately, depending on which side of the fence you're looking from, the pricing is some parts of the Cape Premier Yearling sale not too dissimilar to the better end of this one. So yes, there's crossover opportunities.
Well, best of luck, David.
Thank you.
Enjoy Derby Day. We'll look forward to seeing you out at Mystico next week.
See you there. Thank you very much.
Mystico is certainly looking like it's going to be a lovely sale. It's a good catalogue. David Allen's got plenty of interest on the sale, and we'll look forward to him selling well and seeing him out at Mystico next week on Thursday the 27th.
Cape summer season is in full swing. And next up, we've got the Prawn Festival, and obviously it's got a couple of wonderful initiatives as well. Always good to have Vasco on board. They sponsored the Vasco Prix de Cap, and we've also got the Investec Derby, named after the Asian Racing Federation this year, in alignment with the Asian Racing Conference that's here at the CTICC. Fantastic days expected, and the team were out at Kenilworth. They took part in a lot of festivities out on the track. We caught up with Bryn Russell and his Vasco crew as well. They are certainly having a fantastic day at the races, and really is one of the highlights of the Cape season. Big crowds, fantastic food, and a lot of prawns consumed as well. Let's take you to the highlights of Saturday's meeting out at Kenilworth.
Look who I've just bumped into, the Met winners. I seem to be spending quite a bit of time chatting to them recently, but today they're enjoying the Vasco hospitality. What a great day's racing it's been so far, Bram.
Yeah, well, wonderful to sit right on the course. You know, it's something that we never really experienced, but what a wonderful day put on by that lovely man, Bryn. He's one of my 5 best friends, and thank you for Bryn inviting us here. And yes, Etienne also obviously my partner in One World. I think that hasn't sunk in yet. We probably have a owner's lunch next week, and probably then only realize really what lovely achievement, or how privileged we were to have such a lovely achievement, and then decide finally on the future of One World.
Well, I'm glad the celebrations are continuing. It's been a really fun day, despite the weather. There's so much buzz in here.
No, it's amazing. It started off as a small event a few years ago, and it's got such a vibe, and you can celebrate with the people of Cape Town. You know, you don't have to spend 3,000 Rand and go and sit up in the building. I've never been racing in shorts and a t-shirt in my life, and it's wonderful. Thank you very much to Bryn, and it's become synonymous with this day. It's superb.
It's nice to be so relaxed. And as you said, it's built up over the years. And what has been nice as well around the parade ring, we've had a lovely crowd of people.
No, absolutely. I wandered through there earlier, and you just feel as being part of everybody here. It's really, really great. And I'm sure this tent will get vibey just now. And there's some wonderful racing as well today.
We're here in the Vasco da Gama Hospitality Marquee, and it's a little bit noisy, but that's a good sign because everyone's absolutely having a fantastic time, and the racing has been phenomenal. And with me now is one of Bryn Russell's friends, James. James, your first time racing?
Yes, it certainly is. I'm not a gambling man, but out with some very close friends and supporting Vasco Tavern, and enjoying the day out with my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. It's lovely to see the great vibe in here. Despite the bit of rain, the food has been smelling delicious. The prawns on course.
The food is absolutely amazing. The company is even better, and the rain's actually made it a little bit more cozy for everybody.
You're right here on the winner's post, so you can scream home the winners.
Yes, and I'll certainly be getting into it a little bit later and knowing who the favourites are.
I've got Gordon Engelson with me now. He's enjoying a bit of hospitality down here in the Vasco tent. Not shy to the world of sport, but I'm not sure what your connection with horse racing is. Have you been before?
Yeah, no, of course I've been before. I had a couple of horses with I'm just trying to think who it was with now, with Jeff Woodruff. And yeah, having a great time. You know, I'm in the tent here with Bryn and Ross, the Vasco tent, and with Casimir winning now, Justice State must be over the moon. Well done to him, but we're having a great day.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun down here. I can see it's a great spot to be because you're so close to the finishing line. You really sort of get to be part of the action.
Yeah, especially in the last race. I mean, it was a three horse race at the end, and 3 of them were fighting it out. And Ferree rode a fantastic race, you know, and I'm sure Justin is very, very chuffed. And I can see everybody's having a great time here, and it's a great day.
You, my brown-eyed girl, so slow, going down the old line with it round, sister radio. Do you remember when we used to say, J-O, can't hear you, J-O, J-like come then be one go home, J-O, J-like come then be one go home, went all night for a drink of rum, daylight come, be one go home, stack the night until the morning come, daylight come then be one go home. Right, folks, in the moment you've all been waiting for.
It's been fun catching up with some of the guests in the Vasco da Gama Hospitality Marquee this afternoon, and now I've got the main men with me, Bryn and Ross. Bryn, it's been an absolutely fantastic afternoon.
No, it's been an unbelievable afternoon, Fee, and I think every year we say this, it seems to get better and better. And you know, as I said a little earlier on the speech, you know, I think if we add a little thing or do something differently, racing will and will continue to strive and go forward.
Ross, the food smells delicious, and the vibe in there is quite amazing.
I think it is fantastic. I mean, Britain has a huge passion for horse racing, and obviously I enjoy being part of the Vasco. And yeah, it's a great day. It's so nice to see Kenilworth so busy.
And it's so nice to be put here right by the course. I mean, you can really feel the vibe of those horses coming up the track.
No, it's been unbelievable. And that's why I say, Fee, I mean, to be in this tent is a blessing. And I never had took the opportunity early on to say thank you to Steve and his team, because Kenilworth have put on a hell of a display. You know, no matter what you do, they're going to be criticised, and they're running out of this and they're doing that. But I mean, I don't think they expected the crowds, and the rain has come, and they're still here. So to the whole of the Kenilworth team, to Western Province Racing, thank you.
I think you can really pat yourselves on the back, because it's always so busy here on this day.
Yeah,
and of course we need sponsors in racing, and for you sponsoring the Prix de Cap's great as well.
No, for sure. But I think the thing is that if sponsors can see what they can get, and you know, a big thank you to Lady Laidlaw, because she decided to join the days together. So we've had some really proper, you know, in the words of the guys that understand it, we've had some really proper racing here today. They've seen some top horses on show, and just to the pundits out there, watch out, number 6 Rascallion, he's coming back.
Well, it's been a fabulous afternoon's racing. The hospitality, I think, is probably only just getting going in here now. The music's blaring, and yeah, I'll definitely be back here for the after party.
Back towards their inside, Miss Florida 3 lengths off the lead. In behind that one, Santa Clara starts to unwind, a good-looking effort too. They race down towards the final 300, and Pretty Young Thing is kicked away. She's in front from Helen's Ideal, who's chasing hard behind that. Golden Chance is deeper out in the track. Pretty Young Thing inside the final 200 has a commanding advantage. Helen's Ideal and Golden Chance are trying hard. Now front and center gets going up the outside, but Pretty Young Thing is too far in front, and she stays on well. Pretty Young Thing wins it well. On the outside, front and center up for second. Shamrock Wind and Golden Chance behind those.
They're being followed further back by Ready, Steady, Go. They 7 or 8 lengths from the leader. Elusive Trader runs behind that. Fabian's further back in the field, and so is Search Party. Pleased to meet you. 300 metres left to go. Bold Respect running on Casimir, and Chimichurri runs on the chase. Is closing in up the outside now. Chimichurri run. Russate's gone down the inside, and Casimir is racing there between them. Casimir getting into the lead. Chimichurri run and Russate, as the 3 of them go to the line as one absolute horse. Casimir gets there. Chimichurri run and Russate behind them. What a tremendous finish in the Kaya Stables Diadem Stakes. They homeward bound in the half commemorative Cape Derby now. On my mind was the leader. Satch Dev's on its outside. Then we go Super Silvano's moving through inside the runners. Golden Ducat. Silver Host, the favourite, is back at the rail. Parterre in the red colours is moving through on the inside. And Azores is running on. Satch Dev with 300 metres left to go. Golden Ducat is on its outside. Super Silvano. Parterre is further back in the field as well. But it's Satch Dev at the rail. 100 to go, and Golden Ducat, the 2 that are going together. Satch Dev and Golden Ducat. They come to the line now, and Golden Ducat has outrun Satch Dev with a 3rd spot to Super Silvano behind them, and then came Parterre.
Well, as we've been saying, and as you can see, we're here at the convention centre, and Fee was here as well, and she's been lining up a couple of our international guests just to find out their first impressions of, firstly, Cape Town, B, the convention itself, and obviously what they've learned from this conference through the course of the week. They've had a wonderful time. They've been out to Kirstenbosch. They've obviously had stud farm visits as well, and they'll all be joining us out at the races come Saturday for the Derby Day, as well as the Vasco Prix de Cap. Let's catch up with some of those international guests out at the convention centre.
South Africa are very proud to be hosting the 38th Asian Racing Conference here at the Convention Centre in Cape Town. There's lots of sessions going on all week, and I've been lucky enough to catch up with some of the attendees this morning. We've got lots of international visitors here, lots of local people, and it's going to be great to have a good chat with them. Hazel Kaya is in charge of the stud book in South Africa, and with me is Mick Goss, also from Summerhill Stud, a man that we know well in our turf here in this country, and it's lovely to have them on the show. Hazel, big job, the stud book in South Africa, but you do a wonderful job.
Yes, we're excited as a founding member of the International Stud Book Committee. I think it has been a journey so far in having the stud book keeping its status being approved. Yes.
A lot to be learned by having this conference here. Have you been going to some of the sessions?
I have been going to some of the sessions. One of the things that I'm actually much more excited about besides the sessions is the amount of representation of breeders that we have that have actually joined us at the conference, which in normal cases they don't attend. So this is quite good that they're actually understanding the importance of such conferences and they're participating. So I'm excited about that.
And of course, Mick, you've travelled far to come to the conference, and it really is great seeing everyone together, sharing ideas. Really interesting.
Yes, I'm in the twilight, as you know. But this is one of my former star students at the School of Management Excellence, and Hazel got the scholarship through Andrew Harding, who's the convener of this whole conference, to go and attend the Hong Kong Jockey Club as her scholarship as one of our top students of a year. And of course her story is one of the great success stories, one of the great stories that we bandy about how people can climb ladders all over the world, because she did a long stint in Hong Kong. They kept her because she was that good. And so it's a matter of great pride for us, but it's also wonderful to see these guys who've been great friends of South Africa's for so long. Winfried, Engelbrecht Breskes and Andrew, all those guys out in Hong Kong who've pushed our cause for us, who've helped us with scholarships. It's just amazing, but it's fantastic to see the brotherhood of, and the sisterhood, if you like, of racing gathered in this city of ours.
We've just gone through another session on the integrity of racing, and with me is Pat Cummings from the think tank in America, the think tank of racing, which is very interesting. Pat, how's your visit been so far in the sessions?
It's great. I think Cape Town's been a great host, and it's always great to come back to South Africa. I think it's my 4th or 5th time, and it's always, I find so much passion amongst South Africans in racing, and it's great to see them go around the world and have success, and I just am hopeful that a lot of growth can come from the industry, and I know there's a lot of issues, but I hope you guys are on the right track. So they've been great hosts, and I think the timing is quite fortuitous to come to Africa, considering this is the Asian Racing Conference, but to come back given the timing of things. The sessions have been fantastic so far. I think they've put together a really good group of panelists, and the one thing that I think really strikes me, though, unfortunately, is the lack of what we see as North American participation here. It's where I come from. It's now my home. I've gone back home since some time in Hong Kong, but the need for change in the sport is so dramatic in America. I was saying to some folks earlier, I know South African racing has a lot of issues. American racing has even more issues. They're just different issues. We don't have as many financial problems at the moment, but it's ever changing, and I just wish that we had more of our own country's representatives here to really experience this, because we know that the Asian jurisdictions have done so well in promoting racing, spurring betting and wagering, which is really the lifeblood of the sport, and we need to do more of that. So I think there's a lot of great lessons to take out of here, and what they put together is fantastic.
Tell us a little bit more about the think tank of racing in America, because that sounds quite interesting.
It is. It's a privately funded enterprise right now by some concerned owners who are very frustrated with the pace of change in the existing organizations in the sport. And we have, like I said, we've been around for a long time as an industry, but when turnover is down 50%, adjusted for inflation in the last 15 years, you have to start questioning whether the existing institutions are really doing a good enough job. And are they really embracing the change and the evolution and the modernization that's needed? The answer is clearly no. So it's just a question of what we do and how we get people motivated to start making change. And it's something we've been doing now for 18 months, and we're going to continue pushing onward, and I think we're having some impact in the dialogue.
Racing Control Executive Arnold Hyde is with me now. Arnold, this must be a really, really interesting conference from your point of view.
These conferences are always interesting, Fiona, to intermingle with international stewards and international regulators and administrators. It's just such a wonderful opportunity. We all speak the same language, wherever we come from the four corners of the globe. And it's just so nice to see that we're all on the same page, what needs to be done, the sort of levels that we need to aspire to, all in the interest of our great sport, horse racing, which is a universal sport, of course.
Yeah, and the last session was about integrity in horse racing, and what a fantastic topic. It must have been so interesting.
It's very close to my heart. Obviously, in my role, it's very important, and obviously this the presentations were of an extremely high standard. But going back to Tuesday, we had the International Stewards Conference, which was a whole day affair. I was in the fortunate position to chair the race meeting due to Kim Kelly, the chief staff in Hong Kong, being stuck in Hong Kong due to the virus. So there were 14 presentations on the day. International stewards all present, over 60 of them, and to have the opportunity of talking to the stewards, listening to the very interesting presentations and delivering my own one as well, I think was such a good opportunity, not only for myself but for our chief stipendiary stewards, our deputy chief stipendiary stewards, investigating officer and our veterinary surgeon. A wonderful opportunity that they wouldn't have normally been exposed to if the conference was held in another part of the world due to cost limitations.
Yeah, these sessions have been so interesting. There's so much to be learnt from all of them, and many different topics are coming up throughout the week. And I think we're going to have just so many new ideas flowing around over the coming months now from what we've learnt over this week.
Indeed, this afternoon we're going into the retirement of racehorses and the welfare side as well. So I think each and every session has so much to offer, and it's up to us how much we want to take from it. But I think we are so hungry for this type of information and the opportunity to mingle, with these administrators from around the world, that we need to take full advantage and take our sport forward following a conference such as this.
And the whole event is so professionally put together, isn't it? I'm quite blown away with all the stands here and the way the sessions are running. It's really well done.
Yes, I've had the opportunity of going to the 2016 Asian Racing Conference in Mumbai and the 2018 conference in Seoul, Korea. This conference is certainly up to those standards. The opening ceremony was a wonderful event, and every session that we have seen thus far is of such a high standard, and I think people will be leaving our shores with a wonderful impression of South Africa and the sport of horse racing.
It's lovely to have Andrew Harding here from the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Andrew, not your first time visiting Cape Town. I've seen you here before.
Yes, I was here in October last year, and it's always a pleasure to be in this beautiful city.
Well, we're very honoured to be hosting the Asian Racing Conference. It's fantastic to see everyone getting together and enjoying these sessions and learning a lot from it.
Fantastic is the operative word. The hosts have done an absolutely stupendously good job, and we have more than 500 delegates from around the world, and I mean around the world, including delegates from as far away as South America. Of course, the main concentration of delegates are from the Asian region, and the conference so far has been very productive, some very important subjects addressed, and I think this will stand out as one of the best Asian racing conferences ever held, quite frankly.
Absolutely wonderful, and a great place to have it in our convention centre, and a whole load of other wonderful things around it. The opening ceremony was out of this world. We've got the race day to look forward to, and it's lovely to show off our country.
It is. The opening ceremony was spectacular, and it's particularly poignant for us to hold the conference here because the conference theme is unlocking potential, and really when I look at South Africa's thoroughbred racing and breeding, there is just so much potential. We've seen it in the past in terms of great champions succeeding in the world stage, jockeys, trainers. I know that from Hong Kong, just how good your jockeys and trainers are. But if we can overcome this trade issue, and I think we're very close to doing that, then we'll be all very pleased to see South Africa really, really engaged on the international stage.
Lovely to see V Moodley in Cape Town. Of course, he's our Chief Executive. V, it's so wonderful for us to be hosting this event, and it's lovely to see all the people from different countries milling around here this morning.
Fiona, for me, it has been the most emotional experience. The opening ceremony on Tuesday evening was out of this world. And for a long time, after a long time, I'm really proud once again to be South African. The guests and the delegates were most impressed. The performance from a meditating perspective was over 140. It was unbelievable. And it just goes to highlight the point, especially where we are with horse racing at the moment. It shows that unity. For me, the theme is unlocking potential. To unlock the potential of being unified is the only way out. This conference could only happen on the fact that we work together. The National Horse Racing Authority as a body, as you're aware, from a funding perspective, we get funded by the operators, and without the operators this would have never taken place. So once again, thank you very much to the operators, to all the chief delegates, and to whoever took part to make this a success. It is most impressive. I'm proud, very proud.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? And it's just what we needed, really, for our racing in this country. And it's great for us to be able to show off our racing and have everybody at the races on Saturday.
100%, Fiona, especially, as you said, the time when we're at our lowest. So to have this is amazing. And I once learned, Fiona, something that always resonated in my mind, and I would like to use that quote today. A previous guy, a very good leader, Dr. Samuel Chan, said, "Who we are is not where we are, but where we are is much greater. But who we are is much greater than where we are." So I think at this moment we can only go upwards and onwards from here on.
I think so. I think so much positivity can come out of having this conference in Cape Town. It's just been a wonderful week for us.
Yes, beautiful, and the speakers and the quality and the depth is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So we're proud. I'm sure you are proud as well, and hopefully we need to be positive and we can just go on from here.
Robert Moore is our head racing master in South Africa, and of course we must be very, very proud of our jockeys because they go to Hong Kong and they really, really do fly the flag for us, and you must be absolutely delighted with what you're producing here in South Africa.
Yeah, they seem to be adaptable to ride anywhere, our jockeys. I mean, we've had jockeys like Felix Coetzee, Anthony Dalpesh, Dougie White, some great names that have come out of the academy.
Yeah, and we must be very proud of that. They really are doing well, some top riders. And when you think of the riders all over the world, and we can produce them.
Yeah, as I said, we seem to be versatile of riding anywhere in the world. We've had Mace Roberts win the championship in England as well. So our style and technique seems to work all over the world.
I see you have a stand here at the conference. I'm sure you've had a lot of interest and a lot of people asking lots of questions this week.
Yes, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to create people coming to the academy and bringing their apprentices to us so we can train them as well.
It's been a very interesting morning here at the Convention Centre, chatting to attendees of the Asian Racing Conference, the international visitors, the locals, and they all are really, really learning lots from these sessions and having a wonderful week. And South Africa, of course, can be very proud to be hosting this event, and we hope to see them all back here again soon. Adrian Todd was lucky enough to get a session in at the racing conference this week for our export and import protocol. Adrian, how did it go?
Everything went very well, Fee. I think the whole conference was an amazing experience for everybody. And as I said yesterday, if you had to take one key theme out of what came through there, it was the need to engage. There were sessions on engaging with our fans, engaging with the next generation for racing. And then vitally, just before the session where we spoke about exports, there was a session on engaging with government. And that gave us an opportunity to really put out there for the people what we'd managed to achieve with the exports. Because even more than exports, it enabled us as racing to engage with government. And if we don't continue that engagement, grow that engagement, public-private partnership going forward, then we're going to be in serious problems, worse than we are now. And I think the other vital takeout that we've learnt from the export strategy and the path we've had to follow, which has not always been easy, is that we in South Africa need to speak as one voice on our export matters and on racing in general. We don't do that, we are doomed. But from an export perspective, it was a wonderful opportunity to get feedback from the international community as to where we are. As everybody knows, the audit is here. It is happening on the 20th of April. So we're walking that path and we're getting there.
Yeah, it was perfect timing to be able to have a chat with everybody at the Asian Racing Conference. And it must have been wonderful to have such a good audience of internationals and locals as well.
No, definitely. We opened it to the local community. It was well attended, the internationals, and not just the international purely racing people, but the international veterinary experts that were in attendance as well. It was a very good opportunity and very beneficial to have their feedback.
I'm sure there was lots of interesting questions that you had to sort of fight off and get through, but it was good for everyone to get that opportunity.
It was, and you know, that's fight off. I think we're in a stage now where ask us whatever you want. We can answer it, and if we don't know the answer, we'll go away and find it for you.
Yeah, you're in a very good space now. You're positive, Adrian, and you're ready.
I am positive, Fee.
So hopefully next time we speak to you, we'll be that one more step ahead and hopefully opening up some bubbles. But many congratulations, and what a great session yesterday at the Asian Racing Conference.
Thank you very much, Fee.
Always nice to go out to the farms and award the Groom of the Month with their hampers, always well received. And this month's winner is John Licozzi. He's based out at Sorrento Stud, and he's been a wonderful employee for the Sorrento team. And Fee goes out to deliver his hamper.
John Licozzi is our February Groom of the Month. He's from Sorrento Stud, and we're here this morning to give him his winning hamper. He's been with Terry and Annabelle Andrews for 30 years, and he certainly knows what he's doing and is a jack of all trades here on the farm. John, many congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to give you this beautiful hamper from G Fox. You've got some lovely things in there to wear, and you've certainly done a great job in being rewarded this. And if you want to pop the jacket on and just see if it fits, but very, very many congratulations for winning this month's Groom of the Month.
Thank you.
As I said, John has been here for many years and performs many different duties here on the farm. And we've got to thank G Fox again for giving away these wonderful hampers to the grooms. It's absolutely fantastic. And John, you're looking good, fitting nicely.
Yeah.
There we go. Well done, looks great. So congratulations for winning.
Thanks.
Now, Terry and Annabelle have told me all about everything that you do here on the farm. You've been with Terry and Annabelle 30 years.
Yes.
A long time.
It's a long time.
Now you do everything from breaking in to riding to foaling to going to sales. You really do get involved with everything here on the farm.
Yes, yes.
You literally have just got off a horse now as we arrived. You were working on the track.
Yeah, I was on the track now.
So that's the horses that you're pre-training, and you would have broken those in?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's quite an amazing job. And also you travel to sales?
Yes, I'm going to sales.
And I believe you've got a driver's license. You can drive the heavy goods vehicles?
Yes, yes.
So really, really a jack of all trades here. And then your wife, Stella, she's the boss is domestic.
Yes.
So you get to, I believe you get to look after the house when they go away and the dogs and really part of the family.
Yes, yes.
And it's a lovely farm, isn't it, here? You must enjoy living here.
Yeah, I like to stay here.
Yeah, and you're capable of giving all the medications and doing everything when Terry and Annabelle are away. So really is a great help for them. And you love animals yourself. You must love all the dogs.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and a good rider, which is great. And you're nice fighting weight as well, nice and slim.
Yes, yes.
Well, many congratulations for winning this. I know you've got a busy time ahead. There's sales coming up and you've got all your horses. I see quite a lot now going up the gallop, so plenty of work to do, always busy.
Yes, we're always busy.
Oh, well, best of luck for winning. Many congratulations.
Thanks
I hope
very
you
much.
wear your kit with great pride, and many congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Great to have John Licozzi from Sorrento Stud. He really does do a little bit of everything here on the farm, and a very good rider indeed as well. And he's going to enjoy his G Fox hamper. Thank you very much to G Fox for sponsoring our Groom of the Month.
Thank thanks for joining us on this show. It's been a great show. It's certainly been great having all the visitors here in the Western Cape. They've enjoyed Cape Town. Every speaker that went up onto the podium just mentioned that it was so nice to be in Cape Town and what a wonderful mother city we have here, and we certainly are truly blessed. But it's a wrap from us tonight. We look forward to joining you next week on Breeding to Win.